bit puffed because I've been sighted up a hill and then pushing the bike up another hill to get to this Iron Age hill fort if I can get there. There's no one about, so I might have to lock the bike up somewhere. That's why I come out early. It's starting to warm up nicely now. Yeah, I think there's going to be an Iron Age hill fort up here, maybe Bronze Age, and we're going to go up there and have a look at it. But it's a lovely view. Yeah, you can see for miles. Lovely sunny day. Whew, just been coming up this really steep track. Luckily there's a throttle on the electric bike and I can wind the throttle open a little bit. But I tell you, it was wheel spinning on the back. Oh, yep. I've still got to walk up here though. There's a lovely spot, look. They certainly trimmed that tree well. I think it's growing. There's a bit, I can see a bit of life up there. There's bluebells in the woods, red campion. Oh, so nice to be outside. Can't see much of the view at the moment. There's hazel, look. Get your hazelnuts off there. Little butterflies flying round. You can see some down there just on the path, so I can zoom in on them. We're at Woodcock Farm, and there's the fort. We got owls and hares and muntjac deers. The Cotswold Way offers just over 100 miles of magical walking. I tell you, if you live in America and you want to come to the UK, you come over here and walk the Cotswold Way. It's beautiful, right along the ridge. It is. It's a never-ending ridge. Saxon, dates back to Saxon times. Well, here we've got Iron Age, possibly Bronze Age even. So yeah, it's you know, it says there, look, Saxon army in 577 used the fort as a camp for the Battle of Durham, a few miles south. And we've been to Durham Park, haven't we? So, oh yeah. Was it three kings? Three kings were killed there at the Battle of Durham. Right. Unfortunately, it's very windy up here. But there's the ramparts. And what we might have to do is just go down into the ramparts and film the ditches, because it is very windy. Yeah, we're coming up onto the ramparts. I keep my eyes open for Bronze Age finds on these dodgy paths, or bones. Yeah, that was the first line of defence. Just there, look, the first line of defence. And they've been waiting for them on this side. Although there is evidence now that maybe these places were not used as defensive. That it was just like a gated community. Oh, look, there's loads of red campion down here in the ditch. Seems an awful lot of effort to go to though, doesn't it? Digging all this out by hand with antler picks. They didn't have shovels and spades back then. Right, let's show you the inside of the fort. Can you see any Bronze Age finds sticking out of the dirt? No, nothing. Not even a bit of flint. And I bet plenty of people been looking. What's that there? That's a different material. That's a bit of limestone. Yeah, just bits of limestone in there. Perhaps in the old days they tried to shore up the paths with material from elsewhere. Here's the inner workings of the fort. It's vast, huge. Just think all of the roundhouses in here. Right, let's get back out of the wind a minute, and I'll tell you something. When I tried to come up here with my geophysics machine. Oh. Oh, that's better. Out of the wind. It's blowing a gale today. Yeah, I tried to go in there with my geophysics machine, but you're not allowed to use a geophysics machine. But what I have got, and I'll put a link in the description, is a young chap came up here with a drone, and he flew his drone all round the fort. Now, one thing I was thinking of in the future, maybe, is there is another kind of geophysics you can use. It's a very new technology. It's only just come out on the market, really. Well, it's not even out on the market as such. And it's, oh, back into the wind a bit there. Let's come over here to this rampart. I've come behind the ramparts where the woods meet the ramparts, because there's less wind here, blowing a gale up there. Yeah, what I was going to do is, as a new, I don't know if anyone has seen this, but there's this woman called Sarah Parks. Is it Parks? Something like that. She's a space archaeologist, and what she can do is she uses special high resolution images, and she looks at the ground from space, yeah, literally, and they put it through different infrared filters, and they can see what's under the ground using these different filters. But there's another thing what you can do, which is a bit easier, is you can get thermal imaging camera, and you can take some pictures, but you got to do it from high up, like on a drone, and you can take pictures at certain times of the day of the ground. As the ground cools down, right, a ditch will cool down at a different rate to the ground around it. So you can end up seeing wall lines and ditches and all sorts of things. So yeah, there is a new technology, and all you do is you just fly a drone on a pre-arranged flight path up and down, glue all the pictures together on your computer and put it through a few filters, and before you know it, you could see exactly what's there. But the grass has to be short, has to be nibbled short by animals, and or ploughed or whatever, and it has to certain times of the day, like evening time or after it's rained for some reason. And anyway, you can discover things under the ground doing it like that. So in the future I might try that out, because doing like that geophysics machine that I had, that just took forever. And if you stop doing it for any length of time and then did it again, all the ground conditions had changed, and then you couldn't match up the previous grids. So let's have a walk here behind the ramparts, see if we can see anything in the soil. Bit of erosion like. Now if I do find anything, I'm going to put it back. I'm not going to keep it, I'm going to put it back. You know, because that's not allowed. So I'm just going to have a quick walk around the back of the ramparts. There's some, just up there, look, there's some rabbit holes, or hare holes. So there's probably fresh soil all over the place here. There's a little pile of logs. We might find some fossils. Of course, they'll be a lot older than the Iron Age fort. If I did find anything really spectacular, I'll put it to one side, mark the spot, and then go and tell an archaeologist. Someone at the British Museum, maybe. Oh look, we've got some fresh erosion up here. You know, a nice deer antler sticking out in the mud would be good, wouldn't it? No, can't see anything. There's been no excavations up here as far as I know. No, nothing. Right, I'm going to turn the camera off, and if I find something I'll get back to you. Well, that's a bit more of a display of bluebells. Beautiful. Oh, look at that tree there. Look, it's fallen over, but then there's a shoot come out of the roots and gone up. No, I've not been able to find anything Iron Age, but there's probably thousands of people walking this path every day looking for similar sorts of things. And it's early in the morning, so the hordes of people exercising haven't come out yet because it's still a bit chilly. So I expect in the afternoon, when it starts warming up, this path will be well trodden with people exercising. And I'm getting a bit far away from my bike. I want to get back to it. It's all locked up like, but you can't be too careful. Probably highly unlikely that there's going to be anyone down here that's going to be wanting to nick a bike, and they'd need a pair of bolt croppers. But you know, I don't want to take too much of a risk. Right, so I'm going to head back to my bike now, and look at how beautiful it is. Look, now these are edible. Shall I eat one on camera? This is a beech tree. Yeah, it's a beech tree. Yeah, apparently these beech leaves are edible. Bit furry. Tastes like eating grass. Very bland. Very bland. Right, so that's the Iron Age Hill Fort. And like I said, there's a video in the description of this chap who put a drone up, and he flies it all round and down the ramparts and does a pretty good job. So I'll put a link in the description to that. Right, let's go and find some churches. Right, we're going to come into a village now, and this village is called Little Sodbury, and it's got a very famous church. Very famous. Not cycling too fast because it's pretty breezy today. Right on the Cotswold Way. Oh, cyclists. Yeah, how about that for a nice looking medieval house? Look at all the little tiny windows. Huge house and lots of little tiny windows. Oh, it's workmen everywhere. I tell you what, this virus, I've never seen so many people working on houses. They're everywhere. But just where he's standing, that's where the church is, just there. Not bad. Modern. Nice gate. Oh, here's the church. Now is this the church? I think it is. I think this is the one. I think this is called Tyndale. Tyndale's church. Does that name sound familiar? Yep, this is the one. Says it just there. Says there, look. You can learn more about William Tyndale, translator of the Bible into English. Very famous chap. Nice gates. So it's got to be a pretty old church, this one. Oh, wrong gate. Oh, you won't be able to making very good longbows out of these. A bit on the small side. Yeah, Tyndale, he translated the Bible from Latin to English. There's a little plaque here. St. Eldrin's, Little Sodbury, built in 1859 from the stones and plan of William Tyndale's little chapel behind Little Sodbury Manor. He translated the Bible into English in 1523. Yeah, so he's a very, very famous chap. Right, let's have a look around this relatively modern church. It's got one of those sort of crosses. Aged 6 years old. Oh, it wasn't very old. Bad milk. Bad milk used to kill a lot of people back in the day because it wasn't pasteurised. See if we can find any weird looking carvings in the stonework. Like that one I found yesterday. That was proper weird. Oh, got a pheasant. Just run off. Charged off round the corner. Yeah, relatively modern, this one. We've got a few cobwebs in there, look, behind the stained glass. Oh, look at that. Do you know what those are? That's a monkey puzzle tree. So say named by the person who found the monkey puzzle tree that a monkey would have great difficulty in climbing this tree. And that's why it was called the monkey puzzle. There it is, going way up into the heavens. Oh, that one. Oh, that one. Americans would know what this tree was. See, I'm an expert on everything. Americans would know what this tree is. I'll give you a clue. It's pretty big. It's got a hollow sound usually. What's it called? Is it called a... Is it a sequoia? Giant redwood? Yeah, I think it's a sequoia. Yeah, that sounds sort of American Indian. I think that's probably what it is. A sequoia tree. Ooh, got stone tiles on the roof. Spent some money on it. You know, in 1850 something they had... Oh, is that down to the crypt? Oh, it's all blocked off. Yep, but that goes down to the crypt. Oh, it's a giant beech tree. Monster. Right, anything sticking out of the stonework? Like a weird man bending over with a large erection. Oh, that's a better tree. You could make some long bows out of that one. Maybe some baby long bows. Look at all the gnats. Hundreds of gnats. There's a little tower. Must be steps going up, I think. Look at these heads. There's another one over here. This one's wearing a crown. Look. These are probably older. Maybe older than the church, don't know. Right, let's see if we can. I was thinking of cycling off to another village. Badminton. Look, there's another one there. Look. The Lord giveth and the Lord taketh away. Age 2 and 2 months. Yeah, bad milk. They didn't pasteurise milk back then, and it killed a lot of people. We hope you enjoyed your visit. Right, let's go and find this other church. Go, look at that old gnarly hedgerow. Look, that has been trimmed in that position for hundreds of years. And it's all ended up all gnarly. Covered in moss. And it's about to shoot once more. Now, this is what you call a hollow way. Look at the road. See how it cuts in? Hundreds, possibly thousands of years of erosion. It's created this hollow way. Huge bank there, look, it must be at least 70 or 80 feet high. Oh, you see that container up there on the bank? That's for feeding pheasants. Put grain in there to try and keep the pheasants local. Oh, I've cycled a long way. Look, I've gone all the way to Dunkirk. Right, we're coming into a place called Little Badminton. A little village on the edge of Badminton. It's a little bit windy today, so there might be a bit of wind noise as I'm cycling along. Farm traffic. Oh, this is quite nice. Lovely looking little village. Oh, we've got a thatched cottage. Woohoo! Proper thatched cottage. Of course, all the cottages way back would have been thatched. Look at that lovely place there. Oh, and another one. Got some money round these parts. There's an airstrip. See those lights there? Red lights for landing lights, look. And right over there's a windsock. Yeah, there's the windsock. So it goes a long way, doesn't it, this landing strip? Look, you could land Concorde on that, apart from the little bump in the middle. Must have taken a hell of a long time to mow it. Go into some dense woodland now. Ooh, got a bridge. Got a bridge. Railway bridge or road bridge or some sort of a bridge. Hello! Bit of an echo. Right, this is Badminton proper now we're coming into. I think I might have gone past the church. I might have to go back and look at the maps again. Oh, it's a bit windy here. That's the gatehouse to the Badminton estate. Oh no, it says Badminton. It's the gatehouse, or one of the gates. Badminton house down there. Should we go and have a look? Oh, it's a lovely looking place. It's a bit windy. So I excuse the wind noise. Got a post office. Lovely looking houses. They're probably all owned by the Beaufort house, Beaufort estate. So they're all these houses probably rented, and so they have to keep them in a certain order, like paint them all the same colour and stuff like that. Now I'm pretty sure down here somewhere there's a club, estate office. I go around this round thing. I'm sure that was the club. Maybe I'm getting lost. There's like a club, like for drinking and stuff. Ah, opening times. Yeah, that was it. So yeah, lovely place. In there somewhere is the house, but that's private in there. I'll show you a picture of the house, but it's a big house, wealthy estate, got lots of land. Oh. Yeah, got the crest of the Beauforts on the top of the buildings. Nicely carved. Yeah, not so much wind noise going this way. That's what you call a U-hedge. Look at that one. Perfectly trimmed. That must cost a fortune. Trimming that. Lovely house. Look, got stone beams. Columns, rather. Look at that place. Right, where are we going? Acton Turville, yeah, we're going the right way. Yeah, the Beauforts, they own a lot of land around these parts. And they ban metal detectorists, unfortunately. They're not keen on metal detectorists. But Dyson is, so that's not too bad. Oh, it's the cricket pitch, football pitch. Oh, look at that lovely house through there. Whoa, lovely. Right, we're coming out of the village now, and I'll be heading back to civilization. I'm going to head back down that road there, and I'm going to see if I can find a little place to have me can of beer, and then I'll be heading home to make this video. It's not a bad looking house, is it? Well, lots of little houses. Right, bin men's coming, we better cycle. See all the bins out. Yeah, there's probably not much room in those houses. Just right for me though. Oh, got some modern bungalows. We don't want to look at those. Right, so yeah, I'm going to head off home now, so I can find a nice spot to have a cold beer. Rape! Oilseed rape! Rape! Everywhere. Put it in cooking oil. Chefs like oil, rapeseed oil. You know, them posh chefs in London, they all like the rapeseed oil. God, look at this field here, freshly rolled. Plants are only just starting to come up. It's probably heaving with Roman gold and silver denarii. Ugh, if only. Oh well. Oh, I've managed to find somewhere out of the wind. I've got speckled hen again today. I couldn't get to the shops. Of course, I don't want bottled beer because bottles are too heavy. So I've gone for cans. So I'm hoping to get to Waitrose, which is a type of supermarket here in the UK. They do lots of canned beer. So I'm going to pop in there on the way home and see what beers they've got. But yeah, I'm going to have a can of old speckled hen. Oh, bouncing around on a bike, that is. Managed to find a little spot out of the wind because it's been pretty windy today. Oh, have you noticed? There don't seem to be so many people on YouTube anymore. None of obviously the metal detectorists can't do their metal detecting thing. But you know, I've watched other people diversify, and I've diversified. You know, I think they're letting down their subscribers. They really are. They should get off their bums and try and diversify. That's what me thinks. The ad revenue is fallen off a cliff. It's about 75% lower now than it was before the virus. But that was always a pittance anyway, wasn't it? The ad revenue just about paid for a few pints of ale at the end of the day. And now, because it's fallen off a cliff, it's not even paying for this one can of real ale. Yeah, it is literally, it's gone, it's about 75% down. But you know, I still love going outside and making videos. You know, why not? If people are, if the YouTubers are saying that, oh, they're not doing it because it's such a pittance now to what it was, well, that's no excuse, is it? Because it was always a pittance anyway. Right, I'm going to finish this beer, head off home via the supermarket to look for some more real ales, and then I'm going to put this video together and hopefully it will be out at tea time-ish, 5-6 o'clock. Right, cheers!